So recording, and then I'm going to share screen. Let be. Okay, so you remember yesterday we discussed, I remember I draw some diagram, is it? We start to discuss a wrapper class integer, you remember? Is it? And because a number of places cannot use primitive integer number, so that's why we have this wrapper class integer, okay? And it create the corresponding integer, but object, okay, object. And we also learned how do you convert from integer object, is it, to primitive integer, is it? And you can also convert to string, is it, to integer. You can also convert a string to primitive number, okay? So we have a number of a method we already discussed. And this modify method, that's I remember we discussed modify method. Yeah, that's the modify method. Is it? This modify method, it change I to -100. Is it? But in main, is it when we call modify I x, we pass in that x, is it? And that x initially is it is 100, is it we assigned, is it? And it's integer, is it 100? And we assign, and the question is, will x be changed? And the last class, I remember we discussed, if you print out x, it's still going to be 100, is it? It's not going to change. But we said, my question, you remember, I said if we have a big loop, is it from 0, then I suppose less than 10,000 something, then I plus plus. And if you keep doing something like this, I equals -100, my question is, what do you think it will happen on heap? Is it? So here is a heap. And here is our stack. Is it? And on stack, we have that x, is it? And x refer to that 100 object, is it? And then you have I, is it? And you pass I, you also refer it here, is it? But within the modify, it does something, is it? It assigned to -100, is it? So where is that -100? Yes, yesterday we already said, is it that this is -100, is it? And I will point to this, is it? So it will not point. So that's why x will not be changed, is it? So x won't be impacted. But my other question, further question is, if I have a big for loop, and is this correct? The stack and the heap diagram. Anyone already found the solution? Remember we said this is a question for you to think about after our class, to think it hard. Anyone found the solution?
Is it gonna create new memories in heap?
Mm-hmm. New memory, like new, what do you mean?
Like give like new bytes for like -100, like again and again.
Oh, yeah, ends. Very good, very good. Yeah, yeah, because this basically is what? Is equals I equals new integer. Is it? -100. Is it? This is called what? Auto boxing. This is other. It's equivalent to that. Is it? Just think if you do new, is it what is going to happen? Keep allocate. Is it? Keep allocate, and then it's keep changing. Is it? So it's going to have a lot, and then what will happen to all of the allocated box? So they're kind of like a garbage, is it? Because there is nothing to reference that. Is it the kind of garbage this is kind of one-time use stuff, is it? Like the mask is a one-time we use it and we throw it, is it? So it's just, so it will have what? It will have 10,000 of the boxes, is it? And only one of them is going to be referred by I, and all of the remaining is going to be garbage. Is it? Yeah, very good, very good. You guys got it. Very good. Okay, then let's go back. Okay, so we got it. Is it? We got the. So we needed to be careful. Okay, that's also we said auto boxing. Okay, so you need. And then next, let's see. But over here, this array, is it integer array? We already discussed. Is it if you want to modify, you can achieve that. Is it array? Then you can. Okay. So here the answer is you did modify. Is it? You did modify. That's because you directly modify that array reference location. Is it? That's how. And here for this wrapper integer, is it? And if you assign something to this, is it? So will this be changed? Then the question is it? Yeah, so this will also be changed. Is it? This will also be modified. So because it's array, okay. Okay, for the wrapper integer we finished. Next, let's take a look at string class. Okay, so string here you see it's a class, is it? So S1, then S1 is supposed to be a string object, but we don't have new string something, is it? So it's kind of, it's missing called the constructor. No, here the same thing, it directly assigned to that, is it? So it's also auto boxing. So it's equivalent to you call new string and something. It's the same thing, okay? Both are equivalent, okay? So S1 then, S1 refers to, so if we draw in stack and the heap, is it? So here is S1, is it? And then here you have that hello, is it? And it will refer to this. Okay, refer to this. And then let's see over here. The oh, I need to clear this out. And then let's see. We will do concatenate. Let's take a look at that method, concatenate. And for those to modify array, it's pretty straightforward. Okay, we already discussed array, and after class you can study it more. Let's take a look. This concatenate. Okay, concatenate, and the parameter is S1. Is it S1? And what it does is S1 equals S1 plus where-call, is it? And in main, what it happens, we have that string S equals hello world, is it? Hello world. And then we call this concatenator. Is it? We call concatenator S. Is it? So now my question is, if I do system.out.println S, what S will be? What the output will be in this case? Anyone knows the answer? So the question is, will S be modified? So who knows the answer? The system, the output will look like what? Anyone knows the answer? So let's see, is it, so here we have that stack, we have S, here is a heap, is it? And here we have that hello world. I just write hello world, okay, S point to here, is it? And then you call the concatenate, it's S1, is it? S1 point to here, is it? And then you do something like this. So what does that mean? So this is you append, is it? Kind of. So you add welcome to S1, is it? So what will happen here? So when I print a line S, what will be output? So my question is, output will be hello world, is it? So this one, or hello world welcome, is it? Our purpose is to add welcome to hello world, is it? So what is the choice? Let's make
Second
a multiple
one.
choice, A and B. Yeah, please.
Second one.
Second one, hello world, is it? Okay, so our choice is this, is it? Is that correct? Think really hard. Just like that modify I method. What does this mean in string? In string, when you do S equals to a string, object, string literal, what does it mean? It's you remember we call it what? Auto boxing, is it? So basically it's equivalent to what? To you call new string something. Okay, so what will happen? So will S1 point to here? No, is it? S1 won't point to this hello world, is it? It will point to something new here, is it? That will have hello world welcome, is it? But it will point to here, is it? So S will point, S still point to here, is it? So you won't achieve the appending goal. Okay, so similar concept as that modify I. So here we need to be very careful, okay? So this won't impact, so no impact, okay? So no impact. Okay, we needed to be careful, okay? With the string. Then where is it? Yeah, so this one, is it? It's not going to change, okay? But you know, in the real world, we don't want to, because that's the same case, is it? If you cannot change each time you append a new string to keep grow on your heap, is it? That's not efficient, is it? So there is another, so in Java, there are two other classes that's similar as a string, but more flexible. The first one is called StringBuilder, okay? StringBuilder class. Second is called StringBuffer class. Okay, they are similar. They deal with string. Okay, they can do a lot. But the difference between this and the string class is string class is immutable. Immutable. Okay, and the string builder and the string buffer, they are mutable. So you can change that. Basically, in string integer, in those class, immutable, they don't have setter, they don't have mutator method, okay? But in string builder and string buffer, they have, because they are mutable class, so they provide mutator method, okay, mutator method. Okay, so for string builder, so that's a major difference, is it? But you may ask, what's the difference between these two? Is it? And between these two is string buffer. It supports what? Synchronization. But you don't need to worry this. Okay, that's more advanced material. So after, I believe it's even not in our CS3. Okay, so after CS, generally we discuss this. Okay. And so it's thread safe. It supports synchronization. Okay, so it's a parallel processing. Okay, and especially like now we have a lot of cloud development. Then over there you need to think a lot about synchronization. Okay, but at this point we don't need to worry. Okay, so at this point, you can use either one of it, okay? But string buffer support, it's thread safe, it's guarantee synchronization, okay? And for string builder, it's not thread safe. It doesn't guarantee synchronization, okay? So synchronization, the idea is you just have a single resource, is it? But you have multiple targets want to access them. Is it just like you see, like some database? Is it? And if we don't coordinate well, synchronize them, everyone is writing at the same time, and it's going to be a mess. Is it? So there is a way to synchronize it. Okay, that's more advanced discussion. So anyway, both string builder, string buffer, they are mutable class, so they have mutators, and they support change, and string is immutable, okay? And the difference between builder and the buffer is the buffer support synchronization, and the builder doesn't support synchronization, okay? So that's the concept here. And then let's see. And for string builder here, the S2, is it? And its type is a string builder. And here we explicitly call string builder, new string builder, and pass in string, is it? Pass in a string. So then you will have the S2. The S2 will have string as its contents. And now let's see, we call concatenate 2. This time we work on S2, okay, string builder. So let's take a look, concatenate 2. And if you take a look at concatenate 2, is it what's going to happen? It's S2 dot append welcome. Is it S2 dot append welcome? So let's see. So here you have stack. We have our stack. Is it? I forgot which do we name it. Suppose we call it S builder. Is that the S builder? And on heap, we have we call hello. Is it hello? And it's reference here. Is it? Then you have S2. S2 also reference to this string builder. Okay, this is a string builder object, is it? And then what? You call dot append. The dot append happened on what? Happened on this box. Is it? This box is the owner of this append method. Is it? So it will add that welcome after it. Is it? But did you see S2's reference here? S also reference here. Is it? So that's why this will work. This will modify the contents. Okay. Similar with the string buffer. Okay. So we will skip string buffer discussion. Okay. Then let's see. String builder here. Is it? So then this do change it. Okay, and you can do the print. You can do the output, is it? And over here, Over here, you may ask, how can you do plus print line is what? Within it should be string something, is it? And this is StringBuilder. How can, so basically to call s2.toString. Okay, it's just, you kind of just skip it, okay? But internally to call that .toString, so that this is a string, okay, string. And over here, you can also explicitly call the toString. They convert to toString, so S is it? And you can also check if S is a string, is it? So instance of check if an object is some class. Is it? So if it is a string, okay, quite useful, okay. So this is regarding StringBuilder, and the StringBuffer, then similar concept, okay, for concatenate 3, okay. So next, then let's take a look, the last part of this unit, okay. And this is also quite useful, but we won't spend a lot of time on it, okay? So if you are interested, there are a lot more you can explore on your own, but very useful, especially in the future if you do professional Java programmer, okay? We call it string regular expression, Regex, okay? So regular expression, Regex. What does that mean? Okay, so there are all sorts of ways you can deal with a string, okay? So let's first take a look. This is a string literal, is it? This is, we call it a string literal. Is it? So anyway, string literal. And with string, so basically it's also some string objects, is it? You create some string objects, because it's auto-boxing, is it? And with a string object, it has a instance method, is it? So this is instance method of string class. Is it a string class? So it's called split method, is it? And within split, if we don't specify anything, it's use what? It's use space, is it? To delimitate, is it? And here, what does that mean? Here you use quotation mark, is it? And you have this square brackets, is it? And within square brackets, I specify what? Period, is it? Comma, colon, semicolon, question mark, is it? So what does this mean? So this means you want to split this original string based on comma or period or comma, semicolon, colon, and a question mark. So if there is any one of this, you're going to split the word out, is it? So then in this case, let's see. So here we have a comma, is it? So Java is going to be out, split out, is it? And then here you have question mark, so C is going to be split out, is it? And then you have next comma, is it? So C# will be out, is it? And what else? So that's everything else going to be the single word. So with this split, then you are going to have this full word out, is it? So this tokens is what? It's an array of string, is it? Array of string objects, is it? Objects. So, and also if you wanted to know the length of a string, you can directly call dot length, okay, the dot length. So dot length, this is not a method, okay, it's just an attribute, okay. So the dot length will tell you how many elements in this array, okay. It will give you output of each single one. So we already discussed this. Okay, so this is pretty straightforward. It's about to split. Okay, split. And then next, let's see. Yeah, next, let's take a look. The next couple. And this is regarding regular expression, is it? And for string, you can also do some pattern finding. Okay, pattern finding. So there is a method called matches method. Its syntax looks like this, is it? The parameter is some string, okay, so regex, and it return a Boolean, true or false. So if it find the pattern, pattern you specify through parameter, okay, it will return true, okay. So then let's see. So what does this mean? So this is the pattern. So the pattern says, okay, it starts with what? Java. So if you have a string and the starting listed as Java, then the pattern returns true. So then let's see, this Java string definitely, is it start with Java? Then how about this? Definitely, is it you have Java, is it? And it matches Java. Okay, then what does this mean? Java dot and then asterisk, is it? So over here, this dot, this is not a period, okay? This does means a single letter. So a single character, okay? And what this means, this is repeat the previous pattern. The previous pattern. Okay, so previous is a single letter. So that means you can have one letter, two letters, three letters, four letters, five. So if all of the remainings are letters, then that matches the pattern. Is it? So let's see if this, then of course, the space is also considered a single thing. Is it? So it matches. So this will also return true. Okay. Then next, let's see this. So this is the pattern. Is it? So it's but it needs to start with Java following a number of letters. Is it? Does it start with Java? Of course not. It starts with XXX. Is it? So that's not going to match. Is it? It's not going to match. Then next, let's see what the next one shows. The next one try to show this pattern. Is it? So this time it says the pattern is some single letter repeat certain number of times and then follow Java. And so before Java, there is something. After Java, there is something. Is it? So this matches. Is it? So that's why this will return true. Okay. So with this, you see, you can use it to do a lot of pattern. Is it? Recognition. So one simplest case in our daily life is your username password. Is it? So your password, you remember a lot of sites that use your password needed to be certain number of letters, uppercase, lowercase. Is it? How does it do the check at the back end? It uses regex. Okay, do the checking a lot of time. Okay, so that's the strings matches method split we also discussed. And then next, let's discuss the equals. And I remember previously we also discussed the equals method. Is it? Who still remember the equals method? The difference between equals method versus the equal. Who still remember that? What's the difference between these two?
Equal.
But I do remember the methods.
Pardon me, I missed what you just said. You said
just I don't remember the difference, but I do remember both the methods from last year.
Isn't dot equals for a string and then equals for a Boolean?
No, that's
Well,
not.
equal compares like memories.
Yeah.
So like if you have two different objects, it will be false, but equals will compare instant values and it will return true.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So this dot equals is for compare two objects values. Okay. So the two objects you see heap in heap. Is it? You can have suppose it's of a time class. Is it? You can have 12:15 a.m. here. You can have another 12:15 a.m. Is it? They are two different objects, is it? But they have exact same value. So for the equals, this is going to be true. Okay, it's going to be true. And the equal is compare for reference comparison. Okay, basic it's memory location. Okay, comparison. Then will this return true? Definitely they are at the two box at two different locations. Is it? That will be false. Okay, but here, because both the Java, they have the same context. Is it? So this is going to return true. Okay, so we needed to know this subtle difference. Okay, that's regarding equal. Okay, then regarding the regular expression. Okay, regular expression.
Ask a question?
Yeah, please.
So I was wondering about matches Java asterisk, like second. Can you go there, please?
Go back. Okay, hold on. Matches. Which one?
So Java is cool, matches Java dot asterisk is true. Why second one is false?
Yeah, okay. Because this matches means your string needed to start at J, A, B, A. Yeah. So that's why the next one. Hold on.
So if it was just Java without dot asterisk, it would return true.
No. Let's you know, if you take a look at the difference between these two, the string is exactly the same. Not mostly same. It's the same pattern. Is it? And then this will be true for this one, because this before Java, it allows something else. Okay, but for this match, before Java, it doesn't allow anything. It needs to start as J. That makes sense?
Yes, I got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Where did I? Let's go back. Is it? Go back here. Okay, go back here. So we just regex is a regular expression. Okay, and for regular expression, you can do the string. String has a bunch of methods, matches, split. You can use all of those to do matching. And there is also in Java, there is also a package within the package, so the regex package, and they also have matcher and the pattern. Okay, so we can also use those to do certain pattern finding. Okay, so here it shows us the example. Okay, so we have this string to search. This is that string, is it? And then if you want to use that, then here it compiles the pattern. Okay, the pattern to search. Okay, and then you do the matcher. Okay, so here you create a pattern instance. This is a pattern instance. And then you have the matcher, you call patterns matcher to see if you can find that. Is it? So this is a matcher. Okay, matcher. And then the matcher will match what? Will match with this string, is it? This is a string. You're going to look for that pattern, is it? And then the find will tell you true, false. Okay, but with this, it's different from what we do with the matches. Okay, then in this case, it returns true. Okay, it allows, because this is just compile the pattern. Okay, compile the pattern. The pattern. So if the string has anything contains like this, then it will return true. Not like that match. It got to strictly follow start as Java. Okay. So this is just another minor thing, and if you're interested, and you can find more learning material. Okay. So that's about a pattern and the matcher we can use. And the last one, let's take a look, this filter method. Here we have this filter method, okay? For this filter method, the plug-in is this string, is it hello plus equal asterisk word 98 something, is it? And let's take a look what that filter does, okay? So what is this filter? And in string, there is another method called replace or something, is it? And within it, it has some string, is it? So replace, there are two parameters. So this is whatever you want to find. So basically the pattern, is it? If you find it, you're going to replace it with what? So basically, this is replaced with nothing, is it? So basically, it's going to delete those special things, is it? So then what are of this here? So we needed to take a look here. So if over here says A through Z, so that will take a lowercase of A to Z, all of the letters. If it has any of the letter A to Z, but be careful, it also have a little hat ahead of it, before it. So that's not lowercase a to z, okay? So this means not it. And then it has the brackets. Within it, it has capital A to Z. So that's easy to understand. So all 26 letters, but capitalized. But what? Not belong to this list, okay? And the last is what? Is digit. Is a single digit, 0 to 9, but it has a hat, so not of that. So that means it will only keep what? So if it's lowercase letter or capital uppercase letter or any single digit, it will keep, is it? If it is not any of the listed three, it will delete. Okay, so that's what this replace or does, is it? That's what this filter does. Okay, filter does. Okay, and then, but here, be careful, okay? Here, let's see. What this filter does is, it returns this. Is it? It returns. So replace or returns a new string. That's why you will keep the change. Otherwise, if we do void, this one will not be modified, is it? Previously, we learned, okay? And then next, let's take a look. The filter is it? We understand filter, so let's go back here. Okay, so filter, you're going to filter out, is it? So hello meet of the condition, is it a space? Definitely you're going to cross plus out, equal out, asterisk space out, is it? So of the space out, is it? So after that, what do you have? You only have hello world 98. Is it? That's all you have, is it? So that's what all of this part means, filter, okay? But be careful, the filter work is because it returns a new string, okay? The next is reverse a string. How do we reverse a string? Let's take a look at this method. So reverse string, is it? So what over here, what we did is we use a string builder, okay, and pass in the original string, is it? So the original, no matter what it looks like, is it? Suppose it's hello world, is it? That's the original, is it? Then that's a string builder. String builder has a method called reverse. It will reverse whatever it has. So it's going to look like this: W L R O no, D. It looks D and then W. Is it then O L L E H? Is it? That's what the reversing works. Is it? Okay. After you reverse, what do you return? You can return a new string, is it? Because if you call the string builder dot to string, it returns then this as a string, is it? Previously over here, it's a string builder object, is it? And after you call to string, it will return the reversed string, is it? Okay, that's how reversing works. You can reverse a string, is it? And this S6 is a new string reversed. And if you want to compare equals, definitely they are not the same, is it? So it will return false. And what is the last one? The last one try to do is S5 and S6 the same thing? No, is it? Definitely not. So it's also going to return false. Okay, so that's the string processing. Okay, so this example discuss the major thing we need to remember is wrapper class, is it? Like that integer, is it? And the string is immutable, but if you do want to change, you can use string builder or StringBuffer. Is it more efficient so that you won't overflow like the heap? Even though a heap won't be because it has a garbage collection. Okay, so and we also learn regular expression. Okay, kind of just the basic stuff. So that's all for today's